I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning, ladies.
Morning. Morning. Right. I'll make a motion. The Board of Commissioners approves the April 10th regular meeting minutes. Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that proclamation.
Well, proclamations.
So I would like if the board were to present this to one of our team members. Her son has autism.
No. We're doing the
We're
National
doing a
County
National
Government
County
Day.
first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jessica's at the end.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, well, we'll do her at the end so she's famous. This is a proclamation to recognize the National County Government Month of 2025. Whereas the nation's 3,069 counties serving more than 330 million Americans provide essential services to create healthy, safe, and vibrant communities. And whereas counties fulfill a vast range of responsibilities and deliver service that touch nearly every aspect of residents' lives. And
Whereas Portage County and all counties take pride in our responsibility to protect and enhance the health, well-being, and safety of our residents in efficient and cost-effective ways. And whereas the Portage County and the County Commissioners Association of Ohio encourages our fellow citizens to become engaged in and aware of services provided by county governments throughout Ohio, now therefore it be
Resolved, we appreciate the dedication and hard work of the county workforce who deliver critical services to the people of Portage County, and be it further resolved that the Portage County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim April 2025 as National County Government Month.
awesome. We appreciate each and every one of
Yes, we
them.
do.
Thank you.
We'll present that to you, Ms. Administrator.
Everything that's what you're looking at, I'll send it down to CCAO.
Okay.
Okay. Internal services, alrighty.
Bring it on up.
All right.
Make it easy.
I will. I'll be quick. Okay, I just have a discussion of the rental of the old bar, Tavern 1888.
Let me ask you, since you do this,
Yes.
what do you think? I don't know what anybody else thinks right now.
About the lease of Tavern, I think it's a very good idea
'Cause
to go with the lease of
Something
Tavern
instead of
1888.
nothing works, and that's how I kind of looked at it.
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Something rather than nothing.
Correct.
Works.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
being kind of rehabbed and.
Yep. And she's owned a restaurant and bar before. I think she's very excited about it. I've taken her through it. I've taken it through her once, maintenance. She's been in there 4 or 5 times. She's eager to go. She's ready to go. She doesn't know, I did send her a sample of the lease so she could look it over, just so she knows what it is. She said it looks good. She doesn't know if it's gonna be quite in May. It might be the middle of May, so we're adjusting the lease to read one way or another. With that being said, we'd have to we'll prorate the lease. She does want to do, because she is rehabbing the first 2 months, she's asking the board to do half rent during those times
Yeah.
since she can't be open, if you guys are okay with that.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
well, that's your thoughts.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we've done that in the past. We even did it with
I was gonna
Hometown Bank.
say, yeah.
Do
So-
they foresee a problem with getting the liquor license?
She does not. She's actually been working with the state, and she has constant communication. They said it would be, I think she said 100 days.
It takes a while.
Yeah. And she knew that because she's had liquor licenses before. But she said it's an entertainment liquor license that she's getting because she's going to have music as well. She'd want to. So,
Okay, you're okay?
yep.
Yep.
Is everybody
You
good?
okay?
Okay,
I'm
perfect.
just glad to get it.
She'll be
running.
happy. I'll give her a call after this. And then I have project updates.
Yay.
Having a good time out there. I'm right here. Nice try.
Somebody's having fun.
Okay, the auditor's office renovation, they have their above ceiling inspection, I think for today. The fire system upgrade is currently going on. We did have to upgrade the fire system. The countertops are to be installed in all locations, starting today. Today's 18th, right? No, tomorrow, sorry, tomorrow. And, yeah, today's 17th, right? Yeah, okay. And the painting is still ongoing. They have a lot of primed in some areas, but they do have the paint on the walls in a lot of the other areas. They're just going like
I
crazy.
went up and looked the other day. I tried to go up at lunch, so I'm
Yeah.
not in their way.
Yeah.
But wow.
I know, it looks so
It
good.
looks totally
I don't know where
different.
anything's gonna be or go, but
Right, yep.
it's pretty nice.
Yes, and they're still on track to, they want to be done by the middle to end of
Yeah,
May.
very
so-
well deserved.
Yeah, so, and then this floor, the 7th floor, the painting's gonna start tomorrow. The ceiling and tile work will also start next week, so you guys will see some progress next week. It's a little bit slower going on this floor because they're trying to work it out
Sure.
with all the 3 floors, so. This floor will go fast once they have all hands on deck, so, and they know that, so. Let's see, the front entrance, I'm sorry, did I skip something? No, I didn't, okay. Okay, the front entrance, the concrete replacement, we're on the schedule for mid-May, but we don't have exact date, because they don't know when their concrete's gonna be. They just don't know when they're gonna be able to set it, so. The new generator, we've already talked about that. If you go to page 4, let's see, the Justice Center, all areas are done for the carpeting, but the sheriff and Susan are not done. They needed a little bit more time, so they hope to be completed by next week. And then, let's see, the Riddle Block building, the demo has begun, and the project completion date is at the end of August. So they've
Wow.
started.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's,
Well, it was so. I was
they've got
so
that
used
chute
to-
going.
Yeah, I know. I was so used to drive by and seeing all that scaffolding.
Scaffolding, right?
So
They got a
then
little
that
bit.
went away.
They got a little bit
And
more.
then I turned the corner the other day and I'm like, dang.
Yep.
What, did they forget something?
Yeah, now they have a little bit of scaffolding and a dumpster and
Yeah.
a chute, so
Yeah.
that's the only way they could get the,
Sure.
the debris down.
The
And they-
dibris.
Yep, and that's really all I had. See,
Right,
short and
thank you,
sweet. Yep.
Okay. Do you have any comments,
On the-
Shannon, on the resolution?
I do not,
Okay.
unless the board does.
All right, I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners accept the proposal of Quality Control Inspection, Inc., and enter into an agreement to provide professional services for the project known as 2025 Roadway Construction Administration Contract.
My second?
Roll call, please.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners approves plans and specifications and set date for accepting bids for the Pioneer Trail Bridge replacement over Aurora Branch of the Sugarland River in the city of Aurora, Portage County, Ohio.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners accepts and awards the bid of Roniak Paving, Inc. for the 2025-441 resurfacing improvement projects in various townships in Portage County.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement on behalf of Brookstown, Southeast, and Waterloo School Districts and the Portage County Sheriff's Office.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners agrees to amend resolution number 24-0780 adopted December 12, 2024, to enter into an agreement with Local Government Service Division of the Auditor of the State of Ohio for conversion of data for the preparation of financial statements for Portage County year ending 2024.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners agrees to enter into an agreement with the Portage County Adult Probation and Neomed Clinical Services LLC.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, thank you.
Thanks, Shannon.
Miss Department of Budget and Finance, step on up.
How are you?
Good, good, good.
I'm gonna pass these out before I sit down.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jackie.
So I have two discussion items. One is a quarterly financial update, and then also our contingency list update. And so, for the packet that I gave you, the top sheet is just a general overview of revenues and expenses. these revenue categories are the same as we have in the tax budget, so I thought we could just, be consistent with keeping those categories. So you'll see classified and permissive taxes. We brought in just over $8.3 million in the first quarter. That's 27.38% of what was budgeted. This is mostly conveyance fees and sales tax in this line. So that's good, we're at 27% there. For local government, this is mostly made up of casino tax and local government income tax. We brought in just over $1 million, so that's 24.24% of what was anticipated. I think that's mostly because of the casino tax. We had it budgeted a little higher than it might come in at. For other receipts, this is just a whole grouping of miscellaneous receipts, but it's mostly made up of interest and court fees as far as the amount. What we brought in first quarter is just over $2.1 million, so that's 25.95% of what was anticipated. And for property tax, the estimate went up to $10.9 million for the budget. First quarter, we brought in just over $5.2 million, but that is the whole first half. So that's 48.1%. What we anticipated. However, there are a couple nuances when we get into the detail. I can explain. There's a couple pieces that are missing there. So even though that 48% looks concerning, there are a couple pieces that haven't come in yet. And then refunds and reimbursements. This line is mostly grants, and we didn't anticipate much here, but I think it's because we don't know what grants we're going to get in particular for the Board of Elections. So the amount that did come in is actually a primary election grant from the Secretary of State, which is why we brought in so much compared to what we budgeted. So we brought in $240,781, which is 58.05% of the budget. But again, we weren't really anticipating that grant, so that's why. State and federal aid. The bulk of this is what we get from the Ohio Public Defender as a reimbursement. We've received $685,472 as of the first quarter. That's 34.97% of what was anticipated, so that's pretty good there. And then statutory fees, licenses, and fines. This is made up mostly of the real estate fees and building inspection fees, and also recorder fees. First quarter, we brought in just over $1.3 million, so that's 34.81% of our budget. So right now, overall, for the first quarter, we brought in just over $19.1 million. That's 31.62% of the total budget. But again, that's skewed a little bit because that's the whole first half of property taxes. So after, it'll level out after the next 3 months. Probably closer more to like 50% next quarter. And then I just did a high-level view of expenses. Our revised budget as of March 31st was $72,659,436. Total expenses as of March 31st were $18,641,191. So that's 25.66% of the budget. So, and we had a few more transfers out, which are considered an expense at the first of the year because of the building projects that we had to encumber. So, in transferring that money out, that's considered an expense. So that I think is what's skewing that up a little bit. So I think we're on track.
Yeah,
with
and then
expenditures.
also, those are funds that were encumbered last year and they were carried over into this year, and is that correct for
The cash was
construction?
carried over
Yeah.
and then budgeted, and then we had to
Exactly.
transfer it out, so, yeah.
Oh, so that gets included as an expense, even though it's a transfer, okay.
Right.
This year because
Because
of.
technically it's in a budget line, so it's called an expense, so
Mhm.
that's why it's pulling that number up.
This is, I'm loving all these spreadsheets, so.
Okay, so we can get into the detail just a little bit in the following pages with the revenue. So the next page is sales and use tax. This is a projection it's an estimate of averages to try to get to a projection for the end of the year. So January through March of 2025, total, we've brought in just over 7.8 million. And then looking at the prior years, we tried to average out those to project out the months for the rest of this year. So in the projection column, if you look at the bottom, the total estimated projection for the year is around 29.8 million for sales and use tax. We have it budgeted at 28 million, so that's good. We'll probably bring in
Where
more
was
than-
it last year?
It was just over 30 million last year.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so the prior years are, there's 24, 23, and 22. I think we could probably, possibly move this budget up a little bit in the tax budget. I don't know how much, how far we wanna go, if we wanna go to 29 million or 2750 or something like that. I try to be conservative but not hold us back too much with the budget, if we can
Well,
bump it
even-
up a little bit.
Yeah, and even looking at like February, that was down almost 9%.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
It's kinda hard to
it's
tell.
hard to tell, so I hesitate to, we're not too far off where we're at now, so maybe just kind of leaving it for conservative, like you said.
Yeah, I would wait at least until after the second quarter
Yeah.
to see, we'll have a better idea as to what it's gonna do.
Yeah, it's challenging with the tax budget timing to figure out, what's actually gonna come in second quarter and then get that into the tax budget, cause it's due at the beginning of July, so
Mhm.
we'll see what comes in the coming months. Okay, so then, casino tax is the next one. So the first quarter payment came in at $581,139. Again, projecting just based on prior year averages, the total by the end of the year will probably be about 2.3 million. This one, I think it's probably time to reduce this budget, for the tax budget, because
Yeah,
if
it's
you look at the trend,
consistently-
it's consistently
it's consistently
2.3
going
million.
down.
So I think we were hopeful that it was gonna come back up, but I don't think it is, so.
Right.
And the next page is local government income tax. January through March, we brought in a total of $485,361. If we project out, the rest of the year, this one will probably be more like 1.9 million. We have it budgeted at 1.8, so I think our, budget is still fairly accurate, and, we'll be bringing in probably a little bit more on that one. Interest income is the next sheet. So January through March, we brought in just over 1.7 million. Projecting out based on prior year actuals, probably just over 6 million is what we'll get this year. We budgeted 4 million just because of the volatility here. So even though we'll probably be above our budget this year, you can kind of see the fluctuation is coming back down. I think it crested in '24, because it went from, in '22 it was 2.2 million, '23 it skyrocketed to 6.3, then '24 it was 7.7, but now I think it's gonna start coming back down.
leveling back on.
Let's see. And then the next one is property tax. So this is, as I was explaining, there were a few nuances as to why only 48% has been brought in, and it's the blue highlighted items. So this is an actual breakdown of the whole property tax grouping. Real estate homestead rollback, that first half isn't booked yet. So this blue is the estimate, and I do think it'll probably come in at about $500,000. And then manufactured homestead rollback, that has not been booked yet either. So then, when you add that to the actuals, like the real estate tax, tangible personal property, and manufactured homes that have come in, it's gonna be probably more like 5.7 million, and the estimate on the front page was the actual was 5.2.
Yeah.
So if you add that, then we're more at like 52%
Right.
once all of that's booked. Then the second half projection, I think real estate, homestead rollback, and manufactured homestead rollback will be consistent. The real estate tax line, I looked at that, and typically it's about 17% less on the second half than what comes in the first half, I think because a lot of people pay their entire amount
Yeah.
up front. And then other things are like property revaluation situations, where it might be less. So that we estimated just at 4.3 million, even though the first payment was the first actual was 5.2. And then tangible personal property tax is probably gonna be consistent, but then also manufactured homes tax usually decreases by about half in the second half versus the first. So second half projection is total 4.8 million. The total that's likely to come in this year is 10.6 million, and then our estimate is 10.9 million. So we just kind of have to be aware of that nuance too, that it might not, it might come in a little
taxes
short.
are due on different dates. They're due, I think, March and September. It's a weird calculation for
Yeah.
personal property, manufactured / mobile.
So we'll watch this every quarter and just kind of keep checking at where these numbers come in at. So that is basically the revenue and expense for the quarter. Does the board have any questions, or do you want to move on?
No, but I like that you're doing this, and I think each quarter would be good. Like I said, in the past, we normally don't make any budget adjustments until after second half, because then we have 2 quarters that we can average and foresee a little better.
I like how we're able to compare it to last year and the year before,
Mhm.
where we're sitting right now, so that's very nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So we could move on to the contingency list. That's the last page.
Yeah.
So I wanted to explain real quick, the appropriations in this page, this was updated yesterday. So the appropriations are gonna be a little bit higher than they are on this, the quarterly summary sheet, because there's a 2-week difference. And I did appropriate a lot of the contingency line items, just so that when we're ready to encumber those, we can do so. So that was about a $3 million budget amendment that we did last week. So the certified cash balance, just a quick review, was $17.1 million. The estimated resources were about $60.5 million. So the total certification was $77,631,043. And the appropriations right now, after that budget amendment, are $74,535,491. So now our unappropriated cert is $3,095,552. And then the list of the items below are contingency items that in the green have been approved. And then in the white are the things that are not highlighted, have not necessarily been approved yet, they're just pending. And then the asterisk next to each one indicates that it has been appropriated. If it has not been appropriated, it's either because the expenses are uncertain or it's just not approved by the board yet. So, yeah, if you deduct all of the contingency items from the unappropriated cert, it puts us in the red quite a bit, but the amounts and the timing of all of this and whether or not the board's gonna approve them are uncertain, so.
Yeah, and like I said, we need more time, for the revenue sources and stuff to come in, to see.
Especially, yeah, so that the property tax number kind of levels out and we get a more
Yeah.
accurate percentage.
And, yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to make up a 3 million shortfall, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what comes due and the amounts. It's kind of uncertain right now, so.
By Portage County, that's all I'm gonna say. By
That's
Portage.
right. All right, then it takes us to your journal entries and resolutions. Did you have any comments?
I do not, unless the board has any questions.
I have none.
I don't. Okay, I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners authorizes Commissioner Mike Timlin, President of the Board, to sign a letter of authorization for Ohio Bureau of Motor Vehicles authorizing Geraldine Lauer, Fleet Coordinator, and/or Jacqueline Petty, Director of Budget and Finance, to complete and sign all applicable forms and required paperwork for investigative fictitious license plate for Portage County. This will remain in effect unless revised or revoked in writing by the Portage County Board of Commissioners. A copy of the authorization will be kept on file at the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Okay, in accordance with section 305.30K of the Ohio Revised Code and this board's resolution 21-0396, In this board's resolution 21-0878, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges and approves the county administrator's approval too. I will make a motion to direct the auditor's office to pay process the April 10th, 2025 bills, ACH payments, wires, journal vouchers, and then and nows as applicable, contingent upon the verification of the reports as presented by the county auditor and reviewed by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to process the April 10th, 2025 budget amendments as reviewed and recommended by the Department of Budget and Financial Management.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to transfer from Fund 5200 PCS General Administration to Fund 5323 PCS Chin Regional Sewer Improvements.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I'll make a motion to declare the necessity to add to the Portage County Commissioners Fleet 2 seized forfeited vehicles for use by the Portage County Sheriff's Office.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Very nice. Thank you,
you.
Jackie.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie.
Now, we're gonna do
Okay,
that.
now we're ready.
Yeah.
Now we're ready.
Woohoo.
Jumped the gun.
We're used to it.
That's okay.
I know.
You had it on your desk.
It's going to warm up today.
What's the high today?
61 or something. Yeah. But Friday's supposed to be nice. Tomorrow, it's supposed to be in the low 70s.
It's supposed to rain on Easter.
Yeah,
Well, I
yeah.
think the whole weekend it's
Saturday, 70% went from nothing to 70%. Well, hello, Miss Jessica.
Hi.
How are you?
Right, we're gonna. How are you?
Good, 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 good. We are going to read and present the National Autism Month proclamation. My ability is stronger than my disability. Whereas April is Autism Acceptance Month, a time to recognize the talents, contributions, and diversity within the autism community, where 1 in 36 children in the U.S. are autistic. And whereas autistic individuals deserve full inclusion and respect, yet they still face the unfortunate misunderstanding, discrimination, and barriers in education, employment, healthcare, and community life. True inclusion means more than just awareness. It requires action to remove these unfair obstacles so that autistic people can thrive as their true autistic selves. And
Whereas in 1970, it began as Autism Awareness Month, and in 1988, it gained national recognition. In 2021, the shift to acceptance reflected what all autistic people have long called for. Not just recognition, but real inclusion and acceptance, where they are fully valued and supported for who they are and unique ways they contribute to society. And whereas the Commissioners encourages all citizens to support opportunities for autistic individuals in our community to have full access to education, employment, and recreational activities. And whereas
The Commissioners encourage residents to take the time to get to know someone with autism, recognize their extraordinary abilities, and see what they have to offer. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Portage County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim April 2025 as National Autism Acceptance Month and encourages everyone to celebrate differences.
and you're a heck of a mom.
Yeah.
So would you like to
Yeah,
get a
come
picture?
get
Yeah.
Come get a picture with us.
Jess, I think I come on up. That's okay.
Bring it on in.
Ready?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, that will take us to miscellaneous. I will go. In accordance with Ohio Revised Code, Section 3705.24, the Board of Commissioners approved payment to the City of Kent for the 2024 annual filing fee certifications received April 9th, 2025, from the Ohio Department of Health, certifying the number of birth, death, fetal death, and military service certificates registered with the Kent City Health Department as 1,354, with $1,354 due to the city for the year ending December 31st, 2024.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
On the commission, the Board of Commissioners acknowledges receipt of the Kennel Disposition Report and Intake Report for March 31st, 2025 through April 6th, 2025, as presented by the Chief Dog Warden, Dave McIntyre.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Make a motion, the Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the Kennel Disposition Report and Intake Report for April 7th, 2025 through April 13th, 2025, as presented by the Chief Dog Warden, David McIntyre.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners acknowledge receipt of the April 10th, 2025 certificate of the county auditor that total appropriations from each fund does exceed the official estimate of resources as presented by the Portage County Auditor's Office.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
I'll make a motion, the Board of Commissioners acknowledge the receipt of the Portage County Investment Reconciliation for the month of March 2025, received on April 9th, 2025, as presented by the County Auditor and County Treasurer.
Second?
Roll call.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, we're gonna recess till 11.
Well, Miss County Administrator, who's been MIA for a few days,
Total slacker.
is there anything you would like to say today? Advise us of, put us in the right direction?
Mr. President, I reserve the right to get back to you on that.
Okay, I appreciate that. You have anything?
I do not.
Do you have
No, I
anything?
do not. At this
Okay,
time.
well, don't forget Easter's coming, if I forget at 11.
Yes.
Go do your thing on Easter.
Happy Easter to everyone.
All right, let's do a recess until 11 a.m.
That works.
All right, we'll come back from our recess. Is there anything else to come before the board? Any public comment?
No, sir, no public comment today.
Okay.
Everyone's off for Easter break.
Anything for you?
Nope. No, sir.
Well, I'll be dogged. And I don't have anything as well, so happy Easter.
Yes.
And we'll see you all next week.
Yes. All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Sabrina?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
And Mike?
Yes.